What's up? What it do, Saba? What it is? Your girl, the one, the only, Ash said it. AshSaidIt.com. AshSaidIt.com. I'm just leaving the Pearls and Chubby Curls party out there in Atlanta, GA. We were right there in Atlanta off of La Vista. We were at the Diaz studio, and that was pretty awesome. So what the hell is wrong with people? People are crazy, y'all. This lady just like cursed me out because I just made a turn, and I don't know what people's problem is. That was awkward. Anyways, I just left the Pearls and the Chubby Curls mixer out there. We had a great time. I even tried out some of the product, and it's very light. It's very light. It's not heavy. It doesn't weigh your hair down, and it does moisturize. That's the main purpose of it, is it moisturizes. It's a managing product, which is good. Very, very good. So I'm excited about it. You should be excited about it. Of course, I'm going to write about it on the Ash Said It blog. You guys look out for that blog this week. We're going to be doing that in a major, massive way. So I'm headed to go get me some shea butter. I'm addicted to this stuff. Shea butter. I got to go to Slather Butters. I got to go to my old stomping grounds, Lithonia, GA. Lithonia. Yeah. I'm about to go hit up Stonecrest Mall and go get me some Slather Butters. I love the papaya mango. That is my favorite. My favorite. Yeah. And we go see how long this one can last. The other one lasted a good minute. It lasted maybe about 4 months or so. 3-4 months. Yeah, it lasted a good minute. But I gotta go get me some of that papaya mango, because that is my joint right there. That is my end all be all right there. That's it for me. That's it for your girl. Yeah. So, I hope that you're having a great Saturday. But yeah, it was interesting listening to all the women talk about their natural hair journey. Mine is quite interesting. I didn't want to really go into it because they were mostly dealing with free-flowing hair, and my hair is locked, of course. I've got my beautiful sister locks. But a little bit about my journey is I did the big chop back in 2004. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But basically, I was a broke college kid, broke college student. My parents was like, look, your hair's costing too much doggone money. You need to figure out how to manage it without asking us for the X amount of dollars. Okay. So, being that I was broke and I couldn't ask my parents for money, I started perming my hair myself. And that soon got very old. It got very old. It got very gruesome. And I just really was tired of putting chemicals in my hair. And I decided one day, I said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of putting braids and having the Africans pull out my scalp. I'm going to cut it off and start from scratch. Oh, mama, you ain't going to cut your hair. You ain't going to cut your hair. You ain't going to do it. And one thing with me is, like, when I am fully committed to something, I follow through with it every time. Now, if I'm kind of on the fence with it, I'm like, that might not be it. That may not be the ticket ass. But if I am fully committed to something, I totally follow through with it every time. And that's what I did with this. So when I went to my hairdresser, I went to Shannon. Shout out Shannon Davis. You know what I'm saying? Foo hair, I went out to Shannon and I said, Shannon, cut my hair. She's like, Ash, when I start cutting, I can't stop, right? You realize when I start cutting your hair off, that's it. I said, yeah, I understand that. Let's do it. So she cut my hair off, and I had like a little, this little 70s looking fro going on. It was kind of awkward. I'm not going to lie about it. It was like I belonged to the Jackson 5 or something, I did. I ain't going to lie about it. I looked like I belonged to Jackson 5. One of them, and it was different. As you have grown to always have hair on your back, you don't realize how heavy your hair really is. And my head felt so much lighter without all the hair. It was crazy. It was really, really crazy, but it was a lot of fun though. We enjoyed it. We had a good time. And it was just really awesome. It was just really, really awesome. The issue for me started when, of course, it started to grow. Which at first, it's just wash and go. Toss you some water in it, run some water through it, run some product through it. Oh, you good to go. You going done. But when the hair started to grow, y'all, whoa, that's when I started having major issues. Major issues. That was problems because I wasn't used to my hair being like that, and I had never experienced my hair in its natural state. So I was like, what the heck is it doing? What in the world is this? What is going on? Child, when I tell you this hair was something crazy, something ridiculous, it was something like that. It was something like that. It was something like that, but it started to grow, and then so I started to kind of trim it myself. I would trim it from time to time, so I would trim my hair from time to time, and then I would start to do braids and do braids, but eventually you have to take the braids out, and then you're back to square one, if not in a worse situation, because the hair is still doing what it naturally wants to do, but on top of it, now you've got lengthage to it. So it was a bit of a transition, and within that time I spent maybe hundreds of dollars on products that did not help at all and clogged my hair and clogged my pores, and I spent out so much money for a broke college kid that barely had a steady income to be spending out that type of money. It was crazy ridiculous. So I couldn't even tell you how much money. I don't even want to think about how much money I actually spent, because it was that bad. It was so bad, so very bad. But yeah. So that was pretty much the story with that. But so that was pretty much the story as far as that went. And I think that a lot of times people assume that a lot of the stuff that goes on with people is not necessarily what they're thinking it's going to be. So I think that a lot of folks actually think the latter of it. So I don't think that a lot of them even understand fully what it's supposed to be, but I think that the most of the time they actually believe something other than what it is. And until you're actually in those situations and you fully understand what it is that you're doing, you're not gonna know anything. Oh, sugar. I don't know what that was. But yeah, until you're in the situation, you're not gonna know. So I couldn't tell you how much products I've used, because it was just so much. It was so many different products that promised to lengthen your hair. And this is probably very ignorant of me, but be it that I didn't know, and this was the first time that I was dealing with my hair in its natural state, I wanted my hair to do like Tia and Tamara Mowry. I did. I wanted my hair to do that, just lay down and just chill. But it took me forever until a light bulb went off one day. I was like, your hair is not constructed like their hair. So your hair will never do what their hair does. You've got two completely different textures going on there, and your hair is not meant to do that. So stop sitting up there and trying to make stuff happen that's not meant to happen. And be happy with the hair that God gave you. Be thankful that God gave you any hair. And keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do, and making sure that you're happy with your hair. A lot of people are not happy with their hair. A lot of people aren't happy, period. And at the end of the day, we just need love. The world needs some more love. We gotta love ourselves. We gotta love our brothers. We gotta love our sisters. We just gotta spread some more love around, because there's not enough love right now flowing. Y'all feel it. Y'all know it. I'm putting it out there in the universe. Love. Choose love. Choose love. So I made a conscious decision to not put chemical products back on my hair, but I did try out some other options. Option number one, the Dominicans. I let the Dominicans blow the hell out of my freaking scalp. That shit burns. Oh my God, that stuff is the worst. It is the worst. It's the absolute worst. But it did the trick for that minute. And as soon as humidity hit my hair, it's like nothing happened. It would immediately poof up. And it would be this big, crazy looking fro thing. I don't know what it was exactly, but it was a crazy looking fro. Okay, people are so freaking stupid on this road. Y'all out here on these highways and these byways, be safe. Because people are just doing some dumb stuff. Dumbest stuff in life. But that's the way that the cookie crumbles, right? But yeah, so my journey was very interesting. And I just kept on trying to find other options. So I did everything. I had it fried, dyed, tied. I did a texturizer a couple of times, which is actually chemicals. I just did so much to this hair. And one day it came to me, I said, the only thing I haven't done was lock it. Why not lock it? Why not? I'm not working in a corporate job where they're going to be judging my hair. Why not lock it? So I looked up and I did a whole bunch of research and looked up a couple different places, a couple different people, and I got this lady to lock my hair. Well, at least she did interlocks. That's a common misconception is people ask, well, can someone such lock your hair? No one can lock your hair. No one can lock your hair. I'm going to tell you that. All on center. No one can ever lock your hair. Your hair will lock itself within its own time frame. It will lock itself. Now, a loctician can help guide your hair to the locking process and make sure the parts and everything is straight for it to naturally take place and lock. But no person locks hair. I know it's crazy as that sounds. It's the truth. Nobody can lock your hair. Only your hair can lock itself. But I wanted to get interlocks. So I got interlocks. And the person that I chose, she was not the best. And she was not the most knowledgeable. And she was not the most friendly or customer service, plus. She wasn't. She was probably the worst. The absolute worst. And because of that, I ended up in a situation where I had to find someone to help me manage my hair because the person that I had gotten it locked with and I started my locks was not a good businesswoman. That's just the reality of it. She just wasn't good. She was not a good businesswoman at all. No, she was the absolute worst businesswoman of all. Okay, people are on these roads doing dumb stuff. But yeah, so she started my locks. I hated my locks for, I would say, about 9 months. Until they started to really grow and fill in. Because she had made just ginormous, ridiculous parts. Until the locks filled in, I hated them. I absolutely loathed my locks. I did. Now, when they started to grow and I got some lengthage, I got some hang time going on, and they started to mature, and they started to actually lock, I loved them. Loved them. I got the nappy lock tool from offline, and I started actually tightening my locks in between retightening sessions, but I could never palm roll. Now, palm rolling is the second part of the whole locking process. That's the second part of it. And when you palm roll, you're actually basically you're basically managing the body of the lock. And when you're doing that, you're actually taking care of all the body of the lock. And when you're taking care of the body of the lock, you're making sure that everything is doing what it's supposed to do. Well, that's all fine and dandy and beautiful and all cool in the gang, but at the end of the day, whole end of the day, you gotta make a choice. What are you gonna do with this hair? How are you gonna manage this hair? What's gonna become of this hair? And I made a choice. I made a conscious decision to cut off my locks. You're like, you did all that work, you did all that progress, all this, and and you just cut it off. Why, Ash? Why'd you cut it off? Well, first reason I cut it off was because first off the baseboard, I decided that I was a cosmetologist and I was going to color my hair. And coloring can't be that difficult. You just follow the instructions on the box. And then you kind of just curve it towards natural hair and locks. You leave it on a little bit longer and the effect's going to be so wonderful and everything's going to be great and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's fine and dandy for someone who's experienced. Someone like me who never really colored my hair on a professional level, to know actually what you're doing besides following the instructions off of a box, that was not the best decision that I could have made. That's all. That was probably the worst decision that I could have made. But I made a stance and I did it. So me doing that, I damaged my hair, y'all. I burnt up my hair. I damaged it so bad. It was crazy. I looked like a Martian. My hair was like an orange color. It was crazy. It was so ridiculous. It wasn't even funny. But yeah, I damaged my hair. I damaged the heck out of my hair. And ended up paying just the ultimate price for it. So I had to cut it. Joined the Army. And I was just doing the micros. I did the micro braids. I was doing that for the longest. And doing the micro braids and sticking it out with the micro braids for the longest part right there was pretty difficult. I ain't gonna lie about that. It was hard. Micro braids are pretty hardcore. And like any braids, they're gonna pull out your hair. That's what they're engineered to do, is to pull your hair out. But I kept them in for the longest, and I started doing research because I wanted my locks back, but I definitely wanted a more manageable lock, if that made sense. And I wanted a lock that I was gonna be able to do styles with and have a lot more versatility with as far as styling goes. And I wasn't going to have to worry about palm rolling again, because that was the main thing that was holding me back, was the palm rolling. I didn't know how to palm roll, and I tried it, and it just didn't work out for me. You ever try to palm roll your own hair? Good luck. Now, those experienced out there that know what the hell they're doing, hey, do what you do. But folks like me that try to make things happen and they don't happen, it is what it is. So, yeah. But I tried my best to do that, but then I heard about sister locks. And I started doing more and more research about it, and I was like, okay, sister locks, okay, this looks interesting enough. Sister locks, might be interesting enough to do. Alright. And I heard about the prices. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's one bit of an investment. It's definitely more expensive than doing traditional locks, but I will say, now that I'm almost I'm almost 2 years in, best investment ever. Sister Locks was the best hair investment best investment I've ever made in life with my hair. Best. I should have done this years ago. Had I known and I realized, excuse me, but Sister Locks was the best decision that I've ever made. And I would never take it back for anything in the world. Best decision. awesome, the best decision ever. So, Sister Locks are the bomb diggity. We love Sister Locks. We love our Sister Locks. I love my Sister Locks. I really do. And I'm not just saying that just because, shout out to Dr. Cornwell, you know, because she started a revolution. She gave black women and some men power. Gave us back our power. We took it back. We didn't let them take it from us. We didn't give it off to them. We took it back. And I thank her for that. I really do thank her for that, because traditional locks are great. They're beautiful. But they do get heavy. As any locks will get heavy. My sister locks they are definitely heavier than what they were when I first started them. But that's just a given. And it's just a given. But traditional locks are heavy, and sometimes because of the sizes, they're not necessarily equal all the way around. I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking about somebody. I'm talking to somebody. They're not always equal, and because they're not equal necessarily, some are bigger than others, it's hard to style them. Now, some people have just figured out what to do with it or how to do whatever with, and they just rock it out the same way, any way they want to do it. But, yeah. Pretty much. But Sister Locks, I've loved my Sister Locks since day one. I wanted to show them off immediately to everybody, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, your locks are so small, I'd be so afraid. You would be afraid. Exactly. You. It ain't about you, it's about me and this heart. Me and this heart. Remember this heart. Me and this hair. So, I love them from day one. I love them today. I love them tomorrow. I love them next year. I love them last year. I just love my Sister Locks. And I just love the fact that I can style it one day and I can forget to put my bonnet on that night, and the next day it looks like I've styled my hair. And I've done nothing but shake it and spritz on some water and essential oils. That's it. I get the most compliments about my Sister Locks. The most. People just love them. I love them. How can you not love Sister Locks? They're just beautiful. They are just beautiful. So, I tell you today, my Sister Locks are beautiful. If you can hear my voice, you're beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, darlings. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So, that's the story. I love you guys to pieces. Keep doing what you do. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do what you want to do. And trust and believe in your natural style, your natural flavor, your natural naturals, babies. Your natural naturals. Love you always. Don't let nobody tell you different. And if they do, you tell them, go on about their business. And stop being so nosy with it. Stop being so nosy. I love y'all. Keep doing what you do. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. One Love Ash across social media. Info at AshSaidIt.com. And, of course, 800-274-4936. I'll holler at y'all on this hot, hot Saturday afternoon. Yeah.